What's up, everyone? All right, so here we are, fifth green day in a row. I am happy about that. About $12,500 profit in the last 5 days of trading. So that's the great news. The bad news is that it really only puts me about break even on the month. And of course, break even is better than being down 12 or 13,000. It's not where I'd like to be coming into, well, the third week. It's the third week of the month. That's kind of disappointing. So for me right now, I've had to be a little bit more conservative. I can't be really aggressive, put the pedal to the metal, because I don't have a big profit cushion. So right now is just trying to be, it's almost like I'm playing catch up in if you're, doing a race, like race cars, you're, doing the laps. And for me to catch up, I just have to do perfect laps again and again and again. I can't afford to make mistakes. I have to almost, count on someone else to make a mistake for me to be able to catch up. I just have to have perfect execution. And then if I'm able to get, with a little bit of luck, I get a little bit of, make some headway, then I can start to be a little bit more aggressive. And so as that relates to trading, for the rest of this week, I have to continue just focus on, 2 to 3 really good trades a day. I can't be aggressive on those setups that might be a little bit of a swing for the fences. I can't afford to do it. Yeah, I'd love the home run, but I can't afford to strike out. So right now it's about starting to build that cushion. And then once I've got the cushion, then probably next week and the week after, that's when I might be able to start to take a little bit more risk if we're seeing good momentum and I've got the cushion. That's what I did in June. I started June down $16,000 on the first day, and I finished the month up $36,000. So like a $50,000 swing from the low to the high, and it started first with the goal of break even. And then the goal was $10,000 profit. I got it. Now $20,000. I got it, and then with $20,000 profit, at that point, I had a cushion to start to be aggressive towards the end of the month, and I made another $15,000. So, I would love to see something similar like that happen here for August. Time will tell. It really depends, more than anything, probably on the strength of the market. And the good news is today we saw some really good strength. So I'm excited for tomorrow. I'll be back at it first thing and hoping to see some more momentum. Any questions, any comments, leave them below. You enjoy these videos, like, subscribe, and get the alerts. Press the alert button so you get the alerts whenever I go live in the mornings for our pre-market analysis. All right, enjoy, and I'll see you guys first thing tomorrow morning. All right, everyone. So we're going to break down the trades from this morning. Another really solid day, finishing the day up $2,871. Green is good, and it's always important to know when to walk away. So 4 trades today, 4 winners. I'm happy with that. If anything, I under traded a little bit today. There were a couple of opportunities that I totally missed. TIS, the stock went from 80 cents. Currently it's at $2.11 and halted on a circuit breaker. Obviously a big move there. The first pullback right here, this was the lowest risk place to get in. But I didn't take it. At this point I was sort of thinking, you know what? Book the profits, walk away, live to trade another day. We're in a market where we're seeing some opportunities, but in a really strong market, I'm going to be up $5,000 to $10,000 in the first hour. And since we closed the first hour and I'm up only 2,800, that by itself is an indicator to be a little bit careful. So I kind of thought, you know what, I'm going to take the money and be done. I'll come back, keep it up, tomorrow. And small winners, that's kind of the name of the game. It's base hits. So 4 base hits, 2 trades on XBIO, 1 trade on ABIL, 1 trade on AYTU. So my biggest winner was only about, I guess, $1,000, which is good, but obviously, not the most impressive winner that you guys have ever seen me lock down. So I've missed this move on TIS. If it goes really crazy, I think that's just awesome for momentum traders. I'm happy to see it, even if I personally don't capitalize on it on this trade. I'd be worried about the possibility of it getting halted going back down. And one of the strategies is to short halts going back down because they almost always open lower. Right now, if this drops 20%, it can halt going back down. So, around $1.90, I would start to be worried about that possibility. So that's TIS. ABIL, I also undercapitalized on a little bit. I got in this out of the gates for a scalp over 7. So I was in this right at 694, sold half at 719, sold more around 720, added back at 720, sold at 724. So I was scalping this basically right out of the gates on this move up to a high of 732, right? So on that one I made whatever it was, $728 right here on those 2 trades. So actually I had 5 trades today. I forgot about that second trade on ABIL. So 5 trades. But then it came back up and it double topped right here and broke through that level. So it pulled back for a while sideways and then it popped up right here. I didn't trade this pop right up here, but as it pulled back here I was watching it. And the reason I didn't trade it is because I thought at the time it was too extended off of its moving average right here. I thought it was up a little bit too much. This was a red doji, but you know what? It broke over 750 and squeezed right up to $8. So that was a nice clean move. I missed it. You know, I wasn't being as aggressive as I could have been, and you know, it's fine. I'm okay with that, but I did miss that trade. So there was that one. XBIO, I took 2 trades on. Oops. This one's kind of a similar setup in that the first trade was a squeeze out of the gates, getting in at 380, scalping up to 405, pull back here, consolidation, and then it squeezes back up, right? Same kind of thing. So on this one I got back in and scalped the move up here. I added at, let's see, 434, and it got halted at 437. From the halt, it resumed higher and hit a high of 460, and that's where I was able to book that $1,000 of profit right up there. So that was a nice trade. And that's the thing with circuit breaker halts, as you can see with TIS. Typically, when they halt, they open higher. So this one, you know, it halted at $1.50. Let's see, it halted at $1.50. No, $1.90. It halted at 97 cents, and it resumed at, you know, $1.01. So a little bit of a gap there. Then it got halted at $1.46 and resumed at $1.48. So actually kind of small halt jumps there. But it's very common to see stocks, when they squeeze up, they halt going higher. They halt and then they open higher. So this has a high now of $2.40, kind of consolidating under these highs. So that was ABIO and XBIL, ABIL and XBIO, and then the last one, AYTU. This one was on our scans this morning. It was actually the leading gapper because it had a reverse split. It squeezed up from 550, well, from a low of 5, from 550 all the way up to $7. On this one, I was watching it at 550 and I hesitated. I saw it pulling back and doing this kind of like micro pullback right here, but I hesitated on it. I wasn't sure. It then squeezed up to 618 and got halted. It then resumed higher at 650. It pulled back, and as it squeezed back up over 650, I jumped in. It hit a high of just under $7, and I was able to scalp that move there. So on AYTU, I was in at 648 right here, sold at 658, 664, 679, 651. So it wasn't the biggest winner ever, but just kind of like a small scalp. I just hesitated down here on this entry at 550 because I felt like the spreads were pretty big, the risk felt pretty high, and I just didn't want to give back my profit. At that point, I was already up $1,500, and I thought, if I jump into this and lose 50 cents, which was possible because the spread was like 510 or 504 by 540. So if I lose 40 or 50 cents per share, immediately I'm going to give back half of my morning profit. And so with 1,500 shares. So I kind of hesitated. I didn't take the trade and then ended up popping up and moving. So, you know, I'm being a little bit more conservative, but the reality is I'm sitting here. Today is, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Today is the 9th trading day of the month, and I'm still down like $400 on the month. I was down 12,000, 13,000 at the lowest, In the last 5 days, I've made back about $12,500. So I'm still down about $500 on the month, and I'm just not in a position to take that extra level of risk. Right now, I have to grind on these kind of smaller numbers. I have to be really disciplined. I have to follow the rules. If I had started the month with a $15,000 winner and I had a big cushion, then I could certainly be more aggressive, because if I lost, I can afford it. But right now I can't. And so that's sort of an interesting thing, how where you're at on the day, on the week, on the month, or even on the year can sort of change your behavior in how you trade. And on the one hand, you might say that that's not good, but on the other hand, it's just the reality of trading. If you've had a bad year or a bad month, you're going to be a little bit more conservative, and that is the right thing to do. It's not a good idea to be really aggressive when you are already red on the month, because being aggressive hasn't worked, right? If that's what got you into the red, which was the case for me. And likewise, if you've had a really great year, you do want to amp it up a little bit, increase the size, be a little more aggressive, and try to book those profits, because the window of opportunity is there right in front of you, and you want to capitalize on it. So it is to be expected that you'll adapt your risk profile and your strategy a little bit to different market conditions and to how you're personally trading in those markets. And that's kind of what I'm doing here in August. So I would love to see things continue to be strong. Today, actually really a great sign for momentum, with all three of the names I traded being, giving us some good opportunities. XBIO, really nice. ABIL, impressive move, no doubt. And AYTU, even though I didn't make much on it, had a lot of range. And then TIS, even though I missed it, it's great to see this. I mean, this is what we love to see. From 80 cents to $2.40, that's a crazy move. So, right now I would say momentum is looking a little bit better. And if I can get a couple trades where I can build my cushion really nicely right out of the gates, then I'd be willing to be a little bit more aggressive. But, today the first trade on ABIL, it was already up. It was kind of it was up so much pre-market, but it had also pulled back a little bit here. So this was sort of a funny entry point. It wasn't the best setup. So just a scalp setup, not a home run setup. XBIO, this one had potential. I was being aggressive on it, but it hit 405 and then came all the way back down. So it didn't hold up on the first move. So, it's kind of been a little funny, not totally the cleanest day, but definitely seeing at least a little bit more volatility and a little more opportunity than we've seen in the last, in the first part of August anyways. All right, so that's about it for me, and we'll hopefully see some more opportunities, and I'll be back at it first thing tomorrow morning. All right, I'll see you guys all in the morning. If you're still watching, you must have really enjoyed that video. So why not subscribe and get email alerts anytime I upload new content? Remember, when you subscribe, you become a member of the Warrior Trading family.